Hello, this is Keith All, and today's tutorial on CSS and HTML is gonna be on uh, defining or basically designing this hamburger menu that you see to the right. And basically, this is used to on a website where you want to toggle between showing a menu and not showing the menu. And a lot of times it's used for a responsive website that when you get down to a smaller screen, you want to collapse the menu. So basically, how do we design this? So this is just one way, and I'm sure there's a lot of different ways that you could handle this by using maybe Font Awesome. You use the icon that you get from Font Awesome. But basically this is built a little bit different, and you'll see this in the CSS code. So on the left hand side is the main file, the index file, index.html. And if you look up towards the right here, or up on the left hand side, up towards the top where you see the script code, I got this from code.query.com, and once you go there, you select the uncompressed link and you just copy the script, which is this first line that says script source code source equal, and then you bring that in. So I'm not an expert yet on JavaScript, but I do a lot of programming in other languages, so I get the idea of what this code is doing here. Basically, what it's just when it detects that there's been a click on this hamburger menu towards the right, it's going to turn it into an active state. As you looking right here, it says active, and you'll see how this is used in the CSS code. Down below here in the body, I'm just using two divs, and the main container is called icon, and this child container is called hamburger. So let's open up the CSS file, and let's open that up, and let's first of all, let's see how this works over here on the right. So I'm going to click on this hamburger menu and see what it does. It turns it into an X. When I click it again, it turns it back. So that's how that basically works. So basically the body tag, I'm just setting the background color to what you see this here on the right, just an orange color. So the icon class is the main container. I'm setting the position to absolute, and basically all this is basically doing is getting this hamburger menu to appear in the middle of your web page, and that's what the top, left, and transform properties do. It just takes the top, goes from the top corner, comes down 50%, and from to the left it goes over 50%. And the transform translate function basically just moves it back up to a more centered area within your web page. And I'm just creating a width and a height of 80 pixels for this particular div, so this fits in there. And when you hover over it, basically I'm setting the cursor to a pointer. The next area, which is the child div, it's called hamburger. And basically all this does is first create this middle dash that you see here. Not the top portion or the bottom portion, just the middle portion right there. So basically I'm setting the width and the height of that dash, and I'm setting the background to white. And again, I'm position absolute, so it starts from its parent and works to build this and basically within the middle of that parent. And the box shadow, if I increase this a little bit, if you could see it on your end, there's like a box shadow that I'm creating here. And so that's basically what's happening there. Let's scroll down here, and let's get to the other area. So basically, let's bring this back up here. Zooming in here. So now I'm using a Pseudo selector for the hamburger, which is the child div, and I'm doing a before and after. And basically all this is doing is painting the an additional additional dash to create this hamburger menu. So it's basically, it's going to build this top one, and it's also going to build this bottom one right here. And that's all that this code here for the CSS is basically doing. So I'm just scrolling up here. And the next part of this is I'm doing a before Pseudo selector again, and basically it's positioning this top portion here. So it's going from this middle one and going up 16 pixels to get this position properly right above this one. And this after one, I'm using the top property, and basically I'm going from the top of this middle dash and going down 16 pixels to create this dash. And that's what that's doing. Now on the left here, it says .icon .active and then hamburger. So basically when I click on it, it turns the icon, which is the main div, and that's how this activates the JavaScript. And then I'm gonna style, once it recognizes the active state, the hamburger menu is or basically the hamburger div is gonna erase this middle dash, and that's what this background color is. So I'm turning it basically it's going to disappear. In the box shadow, I'm removing the shadow that's underneath there. So if I click on it, that's what it does. It removes the middle dash. So let's scroll back down here. And now this next set of code is, again, once it activates, once it detects that there's an active state for the main div, and I'm gonna activate this before Pseudo selector. And basically is I'm gonna set the top to 0 and the rotate 45 degrees. So basically what that is doing is, once it removes this bottom or this middle dash, it's going to rotate this one, this top dash, 45 degrees. And that's what it's going to do. And the after one over here on the left is going to do the same thing for this bottom one. It's going to rotate this bottom one 135 degrees to get the effect of creating this X. And that's what that does. Let's scroll down, and that should be the end of it. So that's how you create this hamburger menu. Hamburger menu, and how it is created using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. I hope this short tutorial was very helpful for you today. You can play around with this. I'm going to put a link in the description to a code pen that has all this for you, and you can play around with it then. I want to thank you for stopping by, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, because I upload videos every single week. And if you click on the bell notifications, you'll get notified when a new video has been updated. Thank you again for stopping by. I appreciate it, and I'll see you on the next video.